On your side with everyone covering elections. We started off with your Kennedy Payne. What's the latest from Columbia County, Kennedy?
The campaign and people that I've been speaking to.
Well, we have a couple of empty seats here in this room, but this energy is still going. They are still lively here, and they're still holding on to hope. Right now, they're hoping that Georgia is called soon. They're chanting for this state to be called. All eyes are on Georgia right now. Overall, they're really paying close attention to this presidential election. Anytime a state is being called for Trump in this room, it's just a lot of noise happening. And again, they're all focusing on that battleground state, which is Georgia. They're hoping that it is called soon. We also saw Rick Allen come in here, and then we saw him twice, actually. He came in before his race was called, and then after his race was called, he beat Democrat Liz Johnson, who tried to unseat him for the third consecutive time. And this is now his sixth time representing the Augusta area. So we spoke with him, and he also spoke to the people. He said he's feeling hopeful, but there's still a lot ahead of him and ahead of everyone, really, just with this big presidential election. So he said he wanted to come back to the Columbia County Watch Party to really announce his race for multiple reasons.
You know, Columbia County is where I was born and raised, and my family has been involved for generations in public service in Columbia County. And so that's kind of how I got, that's where I got the call to run for this office. And it was a group from Columbia County. And I did, and somehow I got elected.
I think the big question they have to be asking.
And he says there is still, again, a lot ahead of tonight. We still have something that's major right now, this presidential election that people have. All eyes are on the TV right now here. All eyes, again, are on Georgia right here in this room. They're waiting for that state to be called. But again, good energy going. We still have quite a bit of liveliness here, more than they expected at this time.
Yeah, still a packed crowd there behind you as everyone's sitting there watching the TV, seeing if Georgia will be called anytime soon. Again, all eyes are on Georgia as we have 90% of the precincts reporting here. Donald Trump is leading Kamala Harris right behind him here in Georgia.
That's right. All eyes really on the state. It could be called at any time. So we'll keep you updated, and thanks for following that for us, Kennedy.
Yeah, and we're watching these results roll in. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated as those battleground states get some of those precincts that are reporting. And then, of course, if we hear anything major, we will bring you live updates right now and right here, of course.
That's right. So we go from Columbia County over to Richmond County.
Yeah, your Sydney Hood was at the Democratic Watch Party, but she's back here at our station, still in Richmond County. Sydney, do you have any updates for us?
We saw some high energy at the Democratic Watch Party in Richmond County, and even though it's done and over with over there, they carried that high energy out the door with them. Several of the folks that I spoke to said that they are not losing hope yet. They are still hopeful that history will be made tonight. I spoke to several of the folks as they were walking out, and they said that they're still going to watch these numbers come in. They say that the night is still young. They're still holding on to hope that Vice President Harris will walk away with a win, not only in Georgia but across the country as well. And they not only celebrated the presidential election at the watch party, but also some local races. I spoke to Elsie Miles, who just won the Georgia House District seat for District 126, and he was kind of echoing the same thing I just told you, that they are still holding on to hope. They are still hopeful that the work that they've been doing the last 2 months with early voting, energizing people to get out to the polls, that all of that is going to pay off. And talking about those early voting numbers, you certainly saw that in Richmond County with about 42% of people coming out to the polls to vote early. And everyone at that watch party that I spoke to is very confident that the work that they did to mobilize all these voters to get out, that it's all going to pay off in the end.
And certainly everyone's eyes still waiting to see what happens when this really is a close race, and Georgia just being a battleground. I think we're just waiting to see when we'll be called here.
Absolutely. Razor thin margin right now. Sydney Hood live outside our station. Sydney, we appreciate those updates.